I am so excited about this. With me tonight, I have none other than Rob Welsh, Cajun Rob, one of my best friends. I met him, sort of been on my show. He's been on my show a dozen times at least. How are you doing tonight, Rob?
Hey, Mr. J, I'm doing well, man. How y'all are out there? Doing good. I know
We're doing
some poor folks up there in Wisconsin's getting an ice storm right now, so hope everybody's safe and sound up there. It's crazy.
85 degrees down here in Cajun land there, Cajun Rob.
Hey, it's 82 here today, so I think I got some of your weather up here for a day.
Wow. Wow. Well, Rob, man, I went to a couple of sports shows since the last time I podcasted, and I got all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh, nice.
Two different kinds of chatterbaits. They were selling these for $5 a piece. I mean, I loaded up on them. I got a big, huge bag of Yum Dingers.
Nice.
All these Yum Dingers for $5. And
That's
some
a wacky,
really interesting
wacky
clips.
dream right there. I like them clips, man. I gotta give me some of those.
These are Top Water Company, guys. Check them out. These are really interesting. These are really interesting. I got 4 or 5 packs of these. 25 clips in a pack.
Nice.
You never buy just one of anything. Never. Also, Cajun lures, guys. Cajun lures. Look at that. I mean, I know my hands shake a little bit, even though I haven't drank in a long time.
a year or two, or 12.
Yeah. Man, I just had such a good time. I met the guy who owns Ditch Pickle Baits there. We're gonna go fishing on a False River. But tell me, man, I want to hear Rob. Rob works for Pitman Creek Distributors, which is one of the biggest tackle distributors in the world. I mean, when they hired Rob, I call him Encyclopedia Rob because hey, how you doing there, Benoit? His tackle knowledge of the tackle industry just dwarfs mine, man. I mean, this guy knows about Tell me, Rob, current trends in the tackle industry. What are you seeing?
Well, I can tell you one bait. We get calls every day. We can't keep them in stock. Kawikis all day, every
Fuzzy
day.
dice, right?
Yep, the big full cast
thing. Hold that a little bit further up.
Yep, that's the full cast model, the biggest one.
There you go.
They do have this is a 23 millimeter. They do have a 17.
Can you imagine? Now, would you hook that just like you hook a wacky rig, or do you?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways you can hook them. You can do wacky rig, or some guys do like a Nico rig, but there's a couple different ways. I got a special trick toward the end. I'll show everybody. Kind of learned from a guy that really works well. But awesome little bait. I mean, and then they got a cousin or a brother, I guess, of that bait come out, and it's even hot or hotter. So, but anyway, yeah, the Kawikis is the hottest thing going right now. But I lost you there for a second, Jay. But yeah, Kawikis. I mean, they're
and we're back.
No, there you go. There you back. But yeah, that. And Spro, they actually import them from Japan. So it is a JDM style bait, and it is imported from Japan. So that makes them a little harder to get, and they're in high demand right now. And there's a couple companies that's kind of got some close.
Yeah, can you tell them I have storms coming through right now?
Oh, okay, I got you, man. Not in Louisiana, surely not. Absolutely, man. Tackle shops can't keep them on the shelves. I know we'll have some dealers, they'll get them in the same day or next day they're gone. I mean, they're out the door. Yep.
Yeah.
But great baits. I mean,
yeah.
they're they got the fuzzies, they got the tentacles on them, and they're kind of elastic kind of plastic. So they hold up pretty good. Absolutely. That's a true statement right there. Absolutely. But it has spawned a bunch of other fuzzy style baits and dice baits. So it's definitely a craze. It's been around for a little bit, and I don't see any stop in the
But
future on them.
Rob, why don't you tell Benoit's Performance Baits? You guys can't even keep them on stock.
But yeah, Benoit. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's oh yeah. I mean, we're getting 30 calls, at least 20, 30 calls a day for them, and it's like we got a ton on order, and they'll send just here and there. I mean, we just get them sporadically. So hopefully they'll get caught up soon. So, but
that's crazy, man. That is just crazy.
Yeah, it is.
You guys can't even keep that in stock. So
no.
You have what won the Bassmaster Classic, Rob?
Oh, that was actually on a Berkeley bait called Lab Series, and it's actually they didn't see it or forecast it was going to hit so hard and so fast, so it's not going to be out till late summer, early fall. But it's a line of baits. It's got the Max Scent and the Power Bait both in the same bait. They call it Berkeley Lab Series, and there's going to be starting off 4 or 5 different styles. The minnow bait won the classic, and it's got the Power Bait, the Max Scent, and it has a little bit of air, I think, in the tail. So it has a lot of action, but young Mr. Dillon won it with the Lab Series, and I said we get a ton of calls for it. So I think as soon as that gets released, it's going to hit hot and heavy for sure.
Well, a guy that we both know by the name of Keith Lusher, I consider Keith to be the #1 outdoor writer in the world or in the nation right now. He was flown, I believe, to Nashville by Berkeley, and a bunch of other writers were there. And they just had a big presentation to kind of launch it. And I said, well, can you get me one? He goes, no, I couldn't even get one.
I can't get one. Oh, he's calling his shot.
Okay, so Lake Buff. Let's talk about Lake Buff. Are they catching bass there right now? Because I'd like to know that. Because
I know Texas is bringing in some big.
We invested a lot of time in. Oh yeah, didn't they just have a 26-pound basket come in?
Yep.
I know. I just read about that. I know I did. It's just crazy. So, what else are you seeing in the tackle industry right now? What else is hot?
Actually, there is it's not really a knockoff. They've kind of did their own thing, but it's similar to a quickie called a Hags Prickly Pear, and there's actually they're a company out of Texas, so it's a little different. Look at
that thing.
Yep. I said, look at the action.
Do they make it any smaller?
Yeah. This one is a 19 millimeter. And then they got one. This one I think is a 9.9. Oh, let me get the small one. They got a 9.9. Here we go. There's actually two little ones in there, but that looks like a smallmouth.
Well, when you say half, how much would something that's 9.9 cost?
I think the prickly pears you're looking at are about $10-$12. So it's about half of some other baits. But let's see if I can get it where my light. There it goes. But yeah, there's 2 of them in there. But Hags has definitely made a footprint in the market, and they're a little more accessible to get. I said the Hags company's out of Texas. I said my buddies over here. I got the number down there. My buddies at Backwaters Outfitters in Lacey, Kentucky, usually has them in stock. I know they're getting some more baits in tomorrow, which I'll kind of explain a little later. That you can call them and they'll ship anywhere in the country. Anywhere in the country, they'll ship it to you.
That's just awesome. So, when you're throwing something like a Hags Prickly Pear or the Queekie, or even that minnow bait that won the classic,
yep,
you're going to be employing what I call super finesse.
Oh yeah,
because with a little swim bait, you gotta. And,
Oh yeah.
and that just takes concentration. I mean, you have to,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
I mean, redfish freaking slam it. Okay.
Yep.
And I sometimes bass slam it, but also sometimes bass will just come up
Oh yeah.
and bite the end of a paddle tail. And when with those quickies, they don't know what the heck that thing is.
I hope they're trying to kill it or eat it or both, but yeah, they hammer it pretty good. And that all those are made out of like a kind of like a elastic kind of plastic, so it does tend to float up a little bit. So it's a pretty neat action.
Could you imagine that? Man, you throw that big one out, whoosh, sploosh, and it just kind of
Yep. Just kind of hangs right there in front of their
bit.
face. Just hangs in front of their face.
Then you go ting ting ting, and all those little tentacles are just going all over. Wow, that is cool.
Yep, and it moves some water. Those little tentacles move some water, so I think it has a little different action than anything else. So I think that's key.
I'd be doing all kinds of things, Wait till we fish together, Rob.
Oh yeah,
you'll see. And so one time, well, that's not true because I missed a big red the last time I went fishing because I was too busy yapping. And it tried to take the rod away from me.
Yeah, or
you're not getting my Grant rod.
or your phone rings and you get a bite. That's usually what happens. Yeah.
That's the one time in my life. That's the one time in my life I don't answer my phone. And I usually get mad. I am fishing.
Bigger name on the other line.
Yeah. Well, it took about 15 pounds to win a tournament at Lake Buffs a couple weekends ago, is what Benoit was just telling me.
Yeah, that's respectable. That's not bad.
That's what I was telling you. So nothing phenomenal. Well, we just stocked it, and it hasn't had many fish in that lake for a long time, and we just restocked it. So I'll take that.
Yeah, as long as it's gonna be on the rise.
Because 3-pound marsh bass are tough.
Oh yeah, they got to be. Absolutely.
3-pound marsh bass are tough, man. I mean, a 12-incher can be so fat because it just sits there and gobbles up those shrimp and small crabs and about 6 different kinds of minnows.
Absolutely. They got plenty of bait, that's for sure, and they got to be strong and fast enough to escape gators and cottonmouths. So tough little fellers.
Gators, gator gar.
Yep. Cottonmouths, all that fun stuff.
Ospreys down here, and they're small kingfishers. Yeah. Alligator snapping turtles. There's all kinds of things down here, man.
Oh, yeah.
8-pound. Do you mean an 8-pounder was caught in Lake Buff in February?
Wow. That's impressive.
Well, Steve Rockweiler, he used to catch 7-pounders there regularly. Dang. Back in the day, and so did Tyler Rivette. That was Tyler Rivette's training grounds, man. That's where he started. One of the main things I want to talk about with you, Rob. So super finesse.
Yep.
Stuff like the Quinky, stuff like this.
Yep.
That's my favorite. You know that. You have to have guys investing, if you're going to really get seriously into bass fishing, invest in some superior rods. You got to have the full package. You got to have a great rod. You've got to have, I don't skimp on line because line is just a thread that's holding that fish on between you and the boat. You got to have great line. I use Seagar. What kind of line do you use?
I'm using a little bit of everything. I've used Cigar, I've used Sunline, but Lines has made. You know how it was back in the day. Line has made a huge jump over the last 5 or 10 years. I mean, it's not really a bad line out there anymore. But
Yeah,
I've used a little bit of everything.
I'd love to tell the story, Rob. I'd love to tell that story that, back in the day when I caught some monster fish, I was using Kmart line, the
Yep.
blue Kmart line that, and the only time I ever changed it was when I didn't have enough line to, when I didn't have enough line to cast effectively anymore.
Like
And,
you had enough
back
line
then,
to go fly fishing. You had like 8 foot and you fly fish with it. Yeah, I've been there.
yeah. But, as you can see, this is my wacky rigging rod. I have a Missile Baits, the 48 in there. This is a Grant rod. I love my Grant rods. This thing has just superior. So I mean, I'm talking superior sensitivity. And when you're looking for a top end rod, 2 attributes I look for: sensitivity and backbone.
Yep.
And one thing that they do to sell Grant rods at a show is they'll tie a piece of line on the end eye and put it in the hands of somebody, and they say, okay, now touch that line to the floor. And people are just amazed when they can feel that line touching the floor.
Oh yeah.
I see, man, it's even better than that. I have been using jig. I've been using leeches. I've had a leech on, just free lining a leech with a hook, and had a walleye take it and set the hook a little bit too soon. Just pull back to see if they're, and I could feel the teeth tearing through a leech's skin.
Whew.
That gave me goosebumps. That gave me absolute goosebumps.
Absolutely. That's can't beat that.
Tell me,
But
isn't that what you look for when you're shopping?
oh yeah, and then I
You're
look
shopping for a new rod.
Yeah, and the guides. I look at the guides. I mean, there's you can tell like a quality guide versus an average guide. So definitely the 2 factors you talked about. It. Yeah, those guides are nice, man. I like those guides.
Let me see if I can show you guys.
Yeah, you want a good guy to hold up the braid and all that. So yeah, those are top notch.
Oh, you remember when braid first came out, and they were making guides out of, Shakespeare. I thought Shakespeare was a good rod back in the 80s.
Yep.
But when braid first came out, it would form grooves.
Yep.
In your guides.
And snag
when it first came out,
the
nobody
braid.
knew how to use it.
Yeah, I remember those
nobody
days.
knew how to use it. The first time I was fishing for muskies underneath a spillway, doing this with a suet, and I used to always keep my finger on the man, a big muskie hit and took out some line, and I thought I was going to have to get stitches.
Oh.
Could you hear that, Rob?
Yeah. You get some stitches. You have a muskie take off and braid on your finger. You'll definitely have some. You'll have some stitches after that episode.
Yeah, well, I wasn't using big enough equipment, and I was using too heavy a line for my. I've learned a lot since I was like 23, right out of the Air Force. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we all do. We live and learn for sure.
Yeah, well, nobody really knew. A lot of us didn't know what we were doing back then.
No.
When I got out of the Air Force, I still had some spin cast reels in my inventory. I mean, I wouldn't be caught dead with one of those things anymore.
Yeah, times has changed, man, for sure. Times has changed.
I can imagine showing up with one of those things at one of your events.
No, not unless you want to get laughed at. There's some guys in Florida still use them for swimming
Yeah,
worms. I
that's
know.
exactly what will happen.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, there's
What,
some
like
guys
the
in Florida.
speed worm?
Yep. They say it casts better or flips better or something, but there's guys down there use it religiously still. I mean, there's
Now,
still.
would you ever put a speed worm on the back of one?
Yeah. I mean, there's. I mean, trailers are
Would you
like
put a
jig
speed worm
trailers.
on the back of one of these things?
Yeah. Yeah, you could. Yeah, people put crawls and worms. I mean, everything. I mean,
Wow, because that's what Steve Rockweiler. He went to Bussy Break and caught a couple of tens, and every time he goes down there, he gets the story of he either saw somebody hooked into one or he hooked into a 14. You know, that lake is so crowded anymore. But also, he said there's very few places where you can cast something like a crankbait. It has so much structure in it, just timber everywhere.
that's a flipper's paradise. Sounds like.
Yeah, and flipping one of these things around with a speed worm, that's a big fish presentation if I've ever heard of one.
Absolutely. Now I have learned in the last couple of years. I had an old man teach me that sometimes chatterbaits like to get hung up in wood. You get that big bladed chatterbait, and it hangs up a whole lot less. You can throw it around laydowns a whole lot better.
Who makes that?
Z-Man.
Who makes the big bladed chatterbait?
Z-Man.
Z-Man. Okay.
5/8.
Oh, that's what this is.
Bigger. Oh, is it? Okay. Yep. It's a little bit wider. The blade's a little bit wider. A little bit heavier, but it comes through wood. Unreal.
Well, they have a whole bunch of different. Models of the variations on the chatterbait. Like everybody likes a jackhammer. They didn't have any.
Yeah, the micro, like the Mini Max, the smaller chatterbaits has really made a lot of noise the last couple of years. So those have become really hot.
Are people bass fishing with those?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And crushing them.
That's just incredible.
Yep. But I don't know how many models of chatterbaits they got now. I mean, I've lost count. I bet you they got 20, 25 different models now.
That's just Z-Man.
Yep, just Z-Man. Yep.
Wow. Does your friends at Backwater Outfitters have any quickies?
Oh, yeah. Usually do. Actually, I was going to tell the next thing that's been kind of hot is the kind of cousin to the quickie. It's called, I'll get my light right here, Quickie Thunder. And it's like a quickie and a big TRD combined. So, and I actually got one, but it's.
So would you use that as a net?
Yeah, you can like wacky rig it. You can see what, there it is. So my buddy here, he's got it like a, he's got it rigged up, but you can like nose hook it. You can do it in the middle, but it's a versatile little bait.
Can you net rig that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
But it's a versatile little bait. Like I said, it's like a bigger Ned rig, and it's got the quickie. It's called a Quickie Thunder. And my boys down at Backwaters, they're going to have some tomorrow, I think around lunchtime. So if you want some, call down there around lunchtime. We're on Eastern time. They're in Lexington, Kentucky. So give them a call. They'll have some in tomorrow, and they won't last long. So, but they have a knack for getting the JDM stuff and stuff hard to find. So they do an awesome job down there, and they ship all over the country.
That's awesome, Rob.
Yep.
So, man, you could net rig that just like the TRD.
Yep.
But
and you wacky rig it. You can do your favorite wacky rig. Yeah.
You can wacky rig that, yeah. And wacky rig is just going to do this.
Yep.
With all those tentacles going nuts.
Oh yeah, I think it's got some crazy action, but yeah, I mean it's. I said I'm trying to get a, but it's it's that's gonna be the next big thing. I mean, I say
That
when
thing's
backwaters
crazy,
gets
man.
when the backwaters gets their shipment of the little thunders here, it'll be gone same day. I guarantee you, it won't last long. But cool little bait. Like I said, it's got the stretchy kind of plastic, so
Oh yeah, Z-Man plastic.
yeah, kind of the same, but yeah, it's pretty rugged. I mean, it's pretty tough plastic, so bunch of different colors, but yeah, that's an awesome little bait. That's gonna be the next hot thing, I think. Quickies gonna stay hot, but that's kind of their little brother, and that's gonna sell well. Be a hot ticket as well.
And for smallmouth bass, you put that thing on the bottom and it just sits there. And
Yeah,
those
and it
little
kind of
tentacles.
floats. Yeah, with that plastic, it's gonna kind of float a little bit or stay
Of
buoyant.
course, you know me with my ADD. Norris was telling me not to do that with the TRDs when I was up there on Green Lake. I'm like, watch this, got one. No, you're supposed to. I'm like, are you really going to tell me?
Yep.
Did I not just catch this fish?
Yeah, they'll like it. I mean, you got to try different ways. I mean, sometimes just dead sticking it. I've had good days of just dead sticking. Let it sit there.
That's what he was trying to get me to do was a dead stick, and I can't sit still.
Yeah, but you got to give them different ways, different presentations. They'll tell you which ones they like. And actually, Z-Man's kind of come out with a line. There's the fuzzy TRDs. I said you can fish it with a little TRD head. You can fish it, drop
Wow.
shot. There's just different ways. So a fuzzy TRD is pretty cool little bait. They got
What
a
else
little
do you have in your
smaller.
bag of tricks?
Yep, a little smaller to
That's
fuzzy
more
bugs.
man.
Yep, more than
Wow.
a little smaller, a little stubbier, but same kind of fuzzy kind of action. And then they got their kind of version of smaller dice called the fuzzy nuggets. So
Ooh, I like those.
yep, like I
And those
said,
are
you got
probably in stock, huh?
oh yeah, definitely. And like I said, I think those will be good more for spotted bass, smallmouth. I mean, largemouth I have it, but I think that's more spotted bass, smallmouth. But
Why do you
yeah,
say that,
pretty cool
Rob?
because they're a little smaller. I think they're smallmouth got smaller mouths. Spotted bass got a little smaller mouth, so I think that will. They kind of like smaller baits like it. Yep.
Well, no,
That,
Benoit just said that Z-Man chatterbait is all he needs.
oh yeah, you can't go wrong with a Z-Man.
Actually,
That's for sure.
Benoit, you need to get your name, or you need to get your hand on some of this fuzzy dice stuff and some of these quickies. You'll sell them the day
Oh
you
yeah,
get them.
if you can
He's
get
got a
them.
little mobile tackle store that he pulls around in a trailer. He's got it
Oh, I
really
got
set up
you.
nice.
Nice.
He's got
Man, you
that
can't
set
beat
up
that.
nice, man. And he takes that to
Can't
like
beat that.
tournaments. Hey guys, they've been biting on this.
Nice.
So of course, everybody's got to go in and buy 6 of them. That's
Mm-hmm.
you would too, Rob. I know,
Oh yeah.
I know you.
Yeah, clean out the peg. How many you got? 6. All right, give me all of them.
Yeah, I'll take all of them. I
Yep.
don't want anybody else to get those.
Yep. Absolutely. And I
But
know a
I
lot of
agree with you.
guys.
Man,
Yeah, I know a
chatterbaits
lot
are
of
cool.
guys. Yeah, I know a lot of guys have questions how to rig them or whatever. I mean, it's up to your imagination. A lot of guys, I know, I like these little free rig weights, like skinny. I like this one kind of tapers.
That's a Nico weight, right?
Yes, Nico weight, man. You got your big ring, but you could use drop start weights as well. And what I like doing is run that up through the hole in the bottom of your quickie or whatever it is, and then you're going to run it through the eye. If I can see, yeah, I'm old. I'm
Yeah.
old. Yeah, there you go. And then you're going to take that hook and just kind of barely skin that quickie. So that's what's going to look like inside of it. And if you want to really get tricky, or I heard guys like if you're getting short strikes, they're kind of hitting it but not getting hooked. I'm going to put a smaller weight on here. You put a smaller weight on here. This is a Veravaz. And actually, they'll do that. So this will be kind of inside the quickie, and they'll put a treble hook. So this treble hook will be sitting on the bottom of the quickie and round, and this will be on the top. So if they're short striking it, add you a little treble hook on the bottom there. But yeah, that'll get you short strikers. And I'm gonna give credit to credit's due. Tom Reddington had that on his show the other day about adding the treble hook on the bottom. So,
well, also, what's his name? Mike Iaconelli had on his YouTube channel. Well, he will take a cylinder weight and push it all the way through, and he has bobber stops on either side of it. Then so you have the cylinder weight that you put your line through. You have a bobber stop already on, a bobber stop on the other side. Then he puts then he cinches it up, and he puts a treble hook on there.
yep.
So you have it going through, but also you have a treble hook that's free.
Yep.
Because you don't want that treble hook going up into the quickie, because that'll ruin a $20 lure.
Oh yeah, and some guys use that. I don't know. I'll send you some of those core tackle wacky hooks. It's got the hook and it's got the little corkscrew. Some guys will, especially on the smaller ones like the 17s and whatnot, they'll screw that in the top of it and have the hook right on top. So, and it's weighted. That hook is weighted.
We have 3 minutes left. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to do?
Yeah, of course. My guys from Backwaters, Brad, John, George, my buddy George. I kind of fill in with them once in a while, and I've known them for a long time. John Brad don't live too far up the road from me, so good friends. I've known him probably since I moved here, and bought a lot of tackle from him. But good guys. Like I say, if anybody wants some of the Quickie Thunders tomorrow around noontime Eastern, they should have them. So just give them a call at the store there at Backwaters in Lexington, Kentucky, 859-266-4506. And Brad or George will take care of you. And they good folks, good people. And quick out, always like my Hayabusa hooks. I got Hayabusa trebles.
Yeah.
Hayabusa FPP straights. So that's some of my favorite hooks. I know I talked to Mr. Kurt Dove quite a bit. He's big with them, but yeah, guys, try some of the quickies. I mean, even start out with the small ones. I mean, if the big ones kind of intimidate you, start off with some of the Hags 9.9 or the smaller 13s, but start small. And I think you're going to catch a few fish with them and have a good time. That's what it's all about.
That is, I can't wait to see how a big bass will just engulf that thing. It's wow.
Oh yeah. I think it's the part of his action, part of his looks, but I think that thing moves more water than what we think it does. And they're like, what is that? So they're, like a cat being curious. They got to go check it out. So, and then they kill it or eat it, but they have.
Yeah, that's just awesome, Rob.
Yep.
Well, hey, Rob.
One other quick thing.
I know that you're busy. You have anything else you want to show us?
Yep, that's the Spro bait. They call it Backwater Blue. They also have those.
Spro.
And that was a custom color by some painters in Richmond, Kentucky, here, kind of where I'm at. But that's called a RK Crawler in Backwater Blue. That's a killer color right there, guys. And they have trouble keeping them in stock. They're a hot seller. So I want to give a shout out to them. But Jay, you are the Godfather podcast. And man, I always enjoy being on your show and catching up with you every week, man. You're definitely one of my good friends for sure.
Yep. Big storm coming through.
Oh, I figured,
big storm coming through. But hey, thank you so much for coming on. This actually went better than I thought it was. It's better when I thought it was, as hard as it was raining.
I mean, we made it, man. We always have technical difficulties. We worked through it, though.
We worked through it. Got to have a positive person like you when this happens. And you have a happy Easter too there, Benoit. And I'd like to wish everybody a happy Easter. Remember what the season is about. It's about Jesus. So thank you for coming on. And man, with that, I'm going to end the show. Rob, stick around.
Y'all have a blessed Easter. And
have a good Easter. I'm not fishing this weekend because it is Easter. But man, next weekend I certainly am going to. But thank you very much.
I'll be on the water Saturday, so wish me luck.
Good luck, Rob. And stick around,
thank
please.
you, buddy. All right.